subscribe. Tariq Radio. Watch and subscribe.
Let me get my brother 19 Keys in the building. My good brother 19 Keys.
What's going on with you, brother?
How you doing, family? You good?
Man, I'm great, man. Enjoying my day, man. Sitting here listening to the people.
Sir.
I was in the audience when you were speaking upon the Pan African movements that were possibly sponsored by the
Oh yeah.
CIA.
Oh yeah.
And of course, there is documented truth and fact about the American Society of African Culture in the 50s and 60s. And the question I think a lot of people don't realize is why.
Yeah.
All right. And it was specifically a certain type of Pan Africanism because they felt that approach was softer and it wasn't the direct black radicalism, right? Or the political action of like do for self and, the fight where figures such as, Elijah Muhammad, and of course, at that time, Malcolm X was rising in his thought process where America feel like they could not deal with the radical black
Right.
movement, right? So they say, what is easier? Number one, let's give them culture, arts, and Western academia to make them pacified. So they literally funded this to engage conversations between black groups and African intellectuals, specifically those who had Western ideals in academia. So I think a lot of people, we don't look at history enough and study. Number one, this government's hand, right? And what is now the new mind, this new Western mind, which is all of these boulets that get paid, to shield certain thoughts for them because they've always had this fight of how do we keep Black America from being too radical, too independent, and doing for self, and how do we figure out a way to pacify them with something that's softer and easier for us to control. So it's not that it's a anti-Pan African movement, but it's the certain type of Pan Africanists that are today. That is not the same of their radical ancestral past. They're not the Marcus Garvey types of the
Mm.
past. Because you had the Langston Hughes in that same group that was a part of that getting funded, right? And so I think that more people need to take a look at number one, the American history. You feel me? If you go study Black history, you have to study how they co-opted us and how they funded propagandist groups to infiltrate us and really understand the depths of the devil, especially if you consider yourself to be of any level of consciousness and black pride, because you don't know if your black pride comes from the CIA.
Right. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Man, we got to chop it up, man. I got to.
Man, for sure,
Yeah.
for
You
sure.
back in LA or you up in the Bay still?
I'm in LA for
Okay.
now. Yeah, I'll be out here to the
Cool.
fourth.
All right, we're gonna chop it up, brother. Uh,
Man, done deal. Y'all be
yes,
blessed though.
sir. That's my brother Keys. Let's get Cypher Brown in the building. Cypher Brown. Cypher Brown in the building. What's up?
What's up, Tariq?
How you doing, Cypher?
Yeah, good. I just heard you say some ignorant stuff. I wanted to
Oh,
correct you.
let's get this. And by the way, I hear an accent. What part of Africa you from?
I'm from Nigeria.
Nigeria. Okay, all right. So what was?
Nigeria, not
Oh,
Nigeria.
from where?
Nigeria.
Nigeria. Oh,
Yeah,
Nigeria. Okay. Oh,
yeah.
what did I say that was ignorant?
You said Africans don't call themselves black.
You don't really call yourself black over there. You call yourself pride.
Okay, let me correct you. You know the countries, Sudan and Ethiopia,
Mhm,
Mauritania,
mhm.
Morocco, even Niger and Nigeria. They all mean black.
And you know who named them? The Europeans.
Exact. But you guys were named by Europeans too. You guys weren't calling yourself Negroes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but we embraced global blackness though. We embraced it and made it a thing. You understand? So yeah, you guys were the countries were, you know, like Ethiopia, places like that, and even Egypt. They call it as the these were names that were given by the Greeks and all of these other people. But yeah, the people generally weren't calling themselves black as an identity. They would call themselves tribe.
But that's all of us. That's all of us. You guys too weren't calling yourself black or Negro or anything like
Yeah,
that. You guys were calling yourself by your tribes.
no, we were over here. Our ethnic group, We became foundational Black Americans.
Yeah, but who made that ethnic group? Who named it and who created it?
Well, we started calling ourselves foundational Black Americans. The word black existed for a long time, but we started.
Oh, so you're allowed to just change it and then make it stick.
Well, hell, they gave us the term African American in the 80s. We weren't calling ourselves no damn African American before 1988. You understand? So, yeah, they would put different names on us. And the term African American, that was a misnomer because we're not continental Africans. That name made us comparable to immigrants, which we're not. So we said, hey, we're going to embrace what we really are. We're foundational Black Americans because this is our homeland and this is our culture. So what's incorrect about that?
There's nothing incorrect about that. But when you say Africans don't call themselves black because Europeans named them black, that's the same
Call
case
yourself
with you
Black
too.
because you identify yourself by tribes. I've heard we several. You look at social media, you have people from all over Africa who say, "Oh, I'm not Black, I'm Nigerian. Oh, I'm not Black, I'm Ugandan. Oh, I'm not Black, I'm Kenyan." They say that. They say that they're not Black. I'm not saying this. They said that they're not Black.
Yeah, but you're making a
Right.
generalization based on a
But
few
the thing
people
is, they
saying.
get Black when it's convenient. There's this kind of convenient conditional Black when there's some goodies, then you're Black. Or when you want to dump your criminal class off on us, well, they're Black. Now, when you guys win something, if you guys get a PhD or something like that, you don't use Black at all. I'm Kenyan. I just got this Grammy Award. Shout out to Nigeria. Y'all start naming every other thing except Black. Y'all do that. You understand? You delineate. And then when you get over here, many of you are like, well, we're going to stay away from them Akatas, those Blacks, stay away from them Blacks. We have,
You're doing too much generalization, Tariq. That's not good, and that's
I'm
divisive.
talking to a general audience, so generalizations are going to be made. Now, Cypher, are you here in the US or you're in Britain?
I'm in Britain.
You're in, okay. So, yeah, that's, we're not whistling Dixie here. Let me get Brother Solon in here. Let me get Brother Solon. Brother Solon, and then I'm gonna get Xavier, my brother Xavier. But let me get Solon first. Solon, hop in and talk to Cypher.
Hey, what's up? What's up? Good evening again. So, these tethers, they do not introduce themselves as a black Nigerian or a black Nigerian or a black Haitian or a black Jamaican. They call themselves either because in Jamaica and Haitian, they're an ethno nationality
Mhm.
most of the time. So they call themselves Haitian or Jamaican. Or this guy that's on stage, he calls himself Niger. He's from Niger and whatever tribe he's from.
Mhm.
They want to play dumb and they want to play semantics like we don't even know what's up. They when they come to United States, they already separate themselves from us and call them their either their own ethnic group or their own ethno nationality.
Right.
So
Right. Thank you. And yeah, I'm not making that up, Cypher. That's what you guys do.
Yeah, Tariq. I think what I'm hearing is you uh, African Americans want to lead the global blackness, and you think Africans should get in line and be led by African Americans. Is that
Yeah,
right?
that's projection. And number one, we're not African American. You guys think that we leave global blackness because we are the face of global blackness because we're the only people who really embraced blackness as an identity. And we are the face of global blackness. We're not trying to lead you. We're just great and excellent. And people just kind of naturally follow what we do. And I think you have a problem with that, don't you?
No, I think the fact that you spreading misinformation about Africans hating the idea of identifying as black, that alone shows you that
That's not.
you have ill intentions about dividing
That's
people.
not misinformation. Your people come over here and start saying that they ain't black, they're this. They're not black
Who's your people? You generalize. You keep saying your
people.
people. Who's my
Continental
people?
Africans. Continental
Oh, so we're judging by continents now. So you, all of your Latinos and Americans are all included with you guys.
Africans. That's what I'm talking about.
But you're continental
Right.
American, like just like this Mexicans.
You're not going to talk over me. I'm a foundational Black American. And I'm talking about many continental Africans. This happens all across the continent. They will differentiate themselves from Black people. They will say, I'm Ethiopian and not Black. We hear it all the time. This isn't something we're making up. You understand?
Tariq, it's not about that because we even differentiate ourselves between our tribes in our own country. So it's not about disassociating ourselves from blackness. It's just we operate differently. But then you look at it as an attack on you, and that's the problem.
Nobody said all that, sir. We're just stating facts here. We're just stating facts, sir. You
So you said we come to America and distance ourselves
many
from you and call ourselves something
many of you
different.
do.
But that's what we
Many of
we're not doing that because you guys are different from us. We're just doing that. That's how we operate. We differentiate ourselves based on other, no, like color and stuff like that. Like in America, it's different between
tribalism.
Africans, but we're not dividing ourselves because we
It's
don't want to be identified with you, and that's what you're saying.
called tribalism. You're tribal in your homeland, and you bring the same tribalism here. It's called tribalism, right? It's tribalism. Y'all have a whole bunch of different tribes over there in Nigeria, and y'all bring that same tribalism to Britain, and you bring it when you get over here. You bring it over here, right?
Yeah, but you're saying it's an attack on you. That's what you're trying to insinuate,
I've never said that. Don't put words in my mouth, sir.
brother. If we
I,
coming there to,
I didn't say it was an attack on me. I don't need you putting words in my mouth. Don't be disingenuous. Don't be a stereotype. Now you don't. I don't want you to be a stereotype of a lying, scamming West African. That's a very bad stereotype, and I don't want you to walk into that. So don't be disingenuous. We want you to represent your people well, okay? But
I
don't get
said that's what you're insinuating because you said when we come over there, we dump our negative stuff on you. That's what you just said. So that's an attack on you, right?
I'm talking about generally when some of your people come over, they distance themselves from us. Now, that's either true or not true, and you've pretty much substantiated it by talking about the tribalism in your homeland. All right?
Yeah, but that's not based on blackness. We're not saying we don't want to identify as black. That's the whole point. Is that we distance ourselves from blackness when it doesn't benefit us, but we cling to it when it benefits us, and
Well,
that's not true at all.
it is true. It's
It's not true because we've been calling ourselves blacks for centuries, man.
not really.
I just gave you a name of few countries in Africa that they
So
identify by the name black.
now you want to identify with the continents over there because you just said you don't want to be judged by the whole continent, but now
No, I just said I gave you a few
you're
nations, a few countries.
places from other parts of the continent that has nothing to do with Nigeria, sir. So you're all over the place. You're doing what's called tether babbling now, sir. We don't want you to tether babble. You're just saying stuff to be saying it.
I'm
How,
not just saying stuff, man. I just said a few countries in
now,
Africa.
did you ever live in France? Why'd you go to Britain? Because you were colonized
Yeah,
by yeah, you were
I
colonized,
went on the student visa.
right? How come you didn't stay in France?
No, I didn't mess with France like that. I went to Britain just to study, and I'm gonna go back to Niger. We're building up. We're gonna
Oh,
go back to finish it up.
oh, okay. Oh, okay. So that was who was whooping that ass. France was over there whooping that.
Yeah, we're gonna pay them back. Look, they're already paying the price. But now let's go back to your point, Tariq. So why the hate, man? Why do you hate Africans like that and
What do you have?
lying on?
What do you have to hate? You have to have something to hate on. What
What
do
do
we?
you mean you have something to hate on? It's just why you speaking hate and talking about
You don't hate.
African.
You don't hate people who don't have anything. You don't have anything to hate. So what is there to hate?
Yes, you do.
What do you have to hate? You have to. People hate up. They don't hate down. What do you have to hate? You have to have something that we.
No, you hate the fact that blackness started in Africa and it's synonymous with Africa, and you're trying to take that away
Every
from us. And
lot of stuff started in Africa. I mean, shit. That's redundant. A lot of civilization started in Africa millions of years ago. That's kind of a redundant thing. But what's going on now? You can sit up and talk about all the stuff that started in Africa, but damn it, you had to flee. You fled. So that's how much pride you have in Africa, sir. You fled from all of that African greatness. Why'd you flee?
so it's not about fleeing. And like every empire falls at some point,
Right?
you know, and it rises back up again. So we're in that phase of we're in our fall right now. We're in our decline, but we're gonna come back. Just like you guys were great once, and then you fell. and now you guys will come back, hopefully again.
We're great though.
So
We're still great. As foundational Black Americans, we're
come
great.
on, you can't tell me you guys didn't fail at some point. Like you guys failed from your greatness of
We're,
your ancestors.
we're still great. That's why we're revered all over the world. You go all
Come
over,
on, you,
you go all like no, come on, nothing. When you go all over the world, who do people emulate? They don't. They're not walking.
no, that's not what I'm. That's not what I'm talking. I'm talking about.
That's what
You
I'm talking
go. You're
about.
going from ruleship. You're going from ruling and
That's
to
what
slavery. That's
we
falling.
we survived slavery.
Yeah, I understand that. That's why you guys are going. I'm
We
saying like you guys are getting your progress back up. That's what everyone does.
go down. We survived that. We survived the greatest atrocity in human history and still standing strong. And we are a global force, and people around the world emulate us, sir. Even in your homeland, people emulate us. You understand?
Of course, man. That's a given because you guys live in the most powerful nation in the world.
How did it
So
got powerful? Because of us.
because of the economy.
Unworthy economy. We economy with that damn free labor and the culture of this country. We created all of that. So yeah, this is our land and our influence. Yeah, we're dominated by the white supremacists globally. The white supremacists dominate every inch of the planet. That's a given.
Tariq, I don't
That,
know
that
why you're arguing, man. I said you guys were great once and you guys fell, and now you guys are surviving. And hopefully in the future, you'll go back and reclaim your throne again.
and
So there's nothing to argue with.
no, but the thing is, we're great enough to the point we ain't got to flee. That's the great thing about us. Yeah, we went through a whole bunch of shit, but we stood on business and made it so that we don't have to flee like you had to do, sir. Now that's failure.
So your whole identity is based on how we operate, how we Africans operate. That's your identity. That's how you base your success on.
You called me. I didn't call you. I ain't even thinking
No,
about you.
I'm just saying because every time I say something, you say you did this and I didn't do it, and you're basing your whole life and your whole success on my failure. It doesn't make that's not uplifting,
That-
sir.
That's called tether babble. You just saying shit. That's just saying.
No, because I say something and you say you fled, I didn't flee.
Right.
It's like you're comparing your whole identity is compared to me. Like, what do I have to do with anything? Why don't you just speak about yourself?
Sir, you are a nobody. Nobody's comparing things to somebody who's a nobody, with all due respect. You're somebody in your village, but to me, you're a nobody. I don't have to compare myself to a nobody.
Not individual. I'm not talking about individual. I'm talking about us as Africans.
No, we ain't got nothing to do with what's going on over there and don't care.
But you keep saying any point I make,
But
you keep rebutting by saying you did this and I didn't do it. Therefore,
because I'm talking to somebody on the phone, I'm talking to you. So, yes, we're mentioning cultures. You're talking about we fail and we're going to be great one day. We're great enough to the point we ain't got to flee. I'm just saying how hypocritical it sounds coming from somebody from a completely failed society who,
but why is that the metric though for you?
because I'm talking to you on the phone and it's just weird that somebody from a failed society who had to flee is telling us that maybe one day we'll be all right. We're fine. That's what I'm saying. You're not at liberty to let us know when we're going to be great. We're fine. We didn't flee like you. So we're not comparable. That's what I'm saying to you. Did that make sense?
Nah, it doesn't make sense. But you're just babbling, Tariq.
No. It's kind of touching a nerve. We're just not comparable to you, sir. We're not fleeing like you. We're,
No, but it's just like your whole metric is that comparing yourself to Africans. It's like
no,
that's
it's
your whole metric.
no,
As
it's
long as Africans are living in
no,
shambles, then we're good. Like, what kind
no.
of thinking is that?
That's you projecting. That's called projecting. You have insecurities about having to flee your homeland. That's your insecurities.
No, I don't have no problem with that. But
Do
this
you?
is like this is not the ancient times where people travel
I
from
didn't say
different.
none of the shit you saying. I didn't say none of it. That's 100% projection. You are insecure about having to flee your homeland, and then everywhere you go, you see people emulating and acting like foundational Black Americans, and you have a bug in your ass about it. Just
Why
say
should I hate on that? Why should I hate that? Like, give me
because
a reason for someone to hate on that.
said y'all think y'all the global face of Black people around the world. Y'all want to be the leaders of black. That's jealous tether talk. Come on.
That's based on what you said, Tariq, because you're
Know what?
lying on us. You're lying on Africans. You keep saying we don't identify them ourselves as
Let
black. That's a lie, man.
me get my brother Xavier. Let me get Xavier. Xavier, hop in, sir.
Yo, man. Oh my God. Oh Lord. Just damn. Oh my God. Okay. I got a few points here, Tariq. Let me help you out,
Go ahead.
please.
Go ahead.
Okay. Number one, what time what time is it in the States?
11:47 p.m.
Okay, all right. It's all right. Well, anyway, shout out from Tokyo. Number one, let's go through this. You notice how these continental are always in our space and we never go to theirs?
Oh yeah.
That's number one. We as far as these continental, we don't need you. We really don't need you. It's not that we think we're the global face of blackness. We're it.
Mhm.
That's it. We are it.
When did it
Period.
become that, though? When did it
No,
become
no,
that?
no, no. Have a Coke and a smile. Shut the fuck up. I didn't interrupt you. So sit down. You're irrelevant. Two, every African that I've dealt with here in Japan, and there are tons of them, they're always trying to get females by saying, "Yo, I'm Billy. I'm from America." No exaggeration. You're all full of shit. You tether off of us. You all over in Harajuku trying to sell NBA shoes, hip hop, and shit because you're trying to be like us. You're always trying to dress in hip hop gear with our shit. And then things go south because you're trying to put down little visa babies and tether these little visa babies. But here's the thing is the wives that you try to get end up leaving you at the altar when you have to whip out that Nigerian passport. Um, Not a good look, not Mackish. Now, number three, a sword. The creation of a sword is a violent process. It's a piece of iron that's beat down constantly, violently up against the anvil. It's dropped in water, nearly broken. But in that violent process, it's turned into a lethal weapon and a work of art that can cut the shit out of anything. That's Black America. Next, foundational Black Americans are the first people on the planet since Kemet that have named themselves Black. Yes, the cave dweller in his slave making process named us colored. He named us Negro, which means dead dark thing. We, in 1935, through the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Lost Found Nation of Islam, said, we will call ourselves Black people, not Negroes. Because again, if you read the autobiography of Malcolm X, he says the Elijah Muhammad is here to save the so-called Negro. Now, also, if you remember the movie Cry Freedom with Denzel Washington, when he was playing Steve Biko, he was in the docket saying, and the white supremacist judge, you know, the guy that played Tyron Lannister, he said, "Why do you call yourselves black people? You're more brown than black." And Biko said, why do you call yourselves white? We're more pink. You're more pink than white. We are black to notice our pride. They got that from America.
Mhm.
Now, in 19 again, the people who came up with the name of African American was Zbigniew Brzezinski. He used to be the national security advisor for Jimmy Carter. He's the person that created the Taliban, which morphed into the Mujahideen. He was the mentor of Barack Hussein Obama. Not only that, the term African American was designed to do one thing: destroy black power, which was created by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. In other words, shut up. You sound ridiculous. You sound stupid. Now, Tariq, I land my plane. You will have your itinerary in your mailbox within 48 hours. I am done.
My brother, much respect to you, sir. Go ahead. Did you change your name on here, brother? Um, okay, you changed your name on here?
No, I haven't changed my name. It was like that.
Okay, all right, Thomas Yek. All right.
Yep. So Tariq, so
Yeah,
let's get to the meat. Yeah.
let's get to the meat.
Yes. So, what's your content with Africans and the lies that you spew about Africans not wanting to claim black? That was the whole issue that we started. Yeah.
Right.
So you keep saying Africans distance themselves from blackness when my own country's name is Niger or whatever you want to call it, and you have Nigeria, Mauritania, Morocco, Ethiopia, Sudan. All these names mean black. So
Hmm.
can you tell us that we want to distance ourselves from that name?
Well, you guys, again, like I said, you guys call yourself by your tribal names. Is that correct?
Yeah, so two things can be true at the same time. So we can't call ourselves by our tribes and by our blackness. We can do that.
And
That's
the,
not impossible.
and the thing is, it became Niger when the French came over there. It was called all types of stuff. It was Songhai.
Yeah, that's
Al-
global. But you understand that's global. That's how it was globally. Even with you guys, you guys were named that name by who? By the Spanish, I think.
Right, and y'all were called that by the
By the French.
right, right, and you said Nigeria. That was a British woman named that country Nigeria.
Okay, so we're all named by white people, basically. All of us. We were named by white people,
Mm,
and we stick to those names that white people call us, right? That's what you guys do, and that's what we did as well. So I
yeah,
don't see the problem.
but then they started putting some other shit in it. They started calling us African American, and we are in a mass exodus of that name, that title. We are self-identifying, and that's what the delineation movement is. We are self-identified, and we are defining the lineage, we're defining the culture. We're not letting people dictate what we're going to call ourselves, and there's a massive power move going on right now.
Okay, so you guys got to this level, and maybe we're in the process of that level as well. You don't know, but for you to just keep saying we want to distance ourselves from the term black and distance ourselves from
So
black America, that's just not true.
are you saying that all of these black people are making it up? That people come over here from the continent of Africa and even in the Caribbean, they do that from people in Jamaica and Haiti, they've done this. They'll come over here and say, well, I'm not black, I'm Jamaican. I'm not black, I'm this. And all of us have heard this. Are you saying that
Tariq, Tariq, can I just say this? Look, if I
are you
come to you right now and say,
saying
do you, sir?
yes?
Hold on 1 second, Tariq. Can I say something?
Yeah, I would like for you to answer the question first.
Yeah, I will answer it, but it's just like me telling you, no, African Americans don't identify as FBA, therefore they're not FBA. Because millions of African Americans will come to you and say, I don't identify with FBA, I'm an African American. So if I come here and make the generalization that you guys are not foundational Black Americans, you guys are African Americans based on the belief of millions, then I would have a point as well, right?
Well, that's a name given to us by the dominant society, and when I fill out paperwork, if that's the only option, I have to fill out African American because there's like it's imposed on us. So it's something that's imposed. You
But
understand?
FBA is being imposed by you as well.
It's not being imposed, it's just a logical thing, it just makes sense. It's not being I don't nobody has to identify themselves as foundational Black Americans. You can call yourself a peanut head, or you can call yourself whatever you wanna call you. I refer to people based on a logical term, a foundational Black American. You are foundational to the building of this country if your lineage goes back, so that's a logic term. You understand? So
Yeah,
whether a
but that's subjective. That's subjective.
it's not subjective at all. It's a very definitive term. If you are a black person, that's definitive. Are you an American? That's definitive. Does your lineage go back to the foundation of this country? It either does or it doesn't. If it does, guess what that makes you? A foundational Black American based on logic. Whether you like the word or not, I don't like the term African American at all, but I am a technically on paper, if I got to fill out some shit and African Americans the only option, I'm that, as opposed to Caribbean or Latino or whatever. I don't like the term African American at all, and I don't use it. But I understand on certain paperwork and in certain documents, that's what I have to fill out.
Yeah, but we're dealing with the terms, Tariq. We're
Yeah,
dealing with the terms on African American and FBA. That's what we're dealing with.
right.
So
Same thing, but more defined because immigrants are African Americans. Elon Musk is an African American. You understand? So that's why we don't use that term like that no more. This generation, we're rejecting that term altogether. Do people still use it? Yeah, it takes a minute. It took a minute.
millions of people, millions. It's not just people. It's
Yeah,
millions of people who identify by that term. So you can't tell me it's not. It doesn't have any relevance or to
yeah,
million to.
they didn't. But it took a minute for people to identify as African American. That wasn't overnight. My grandmother never called herself an African American. She died in 2002, but yeah, she would call herself colored. So the people come from different generations. So for different generations, sometimes it catches on a little slower than others. But yeah,
Yeah. So when you see Africans or Jamaicans or whatever saying we're not black, then look at it the same way. Then you're giving yourself grace, but you are like going hardcore on these black people who saying they're not black.
I'm not going hardcore on them. I'm not going
You are
at
because you're
all.
saying you I'm generalizing us based on them. You're saying Africans don't identify as black because of these few
No,
people that you heard talking shit.
in here, you hopped in. You were the one talking about black people. We think we're the leaders of blackness. You said that, sir. I didn't say that.
No, I was asking a question based on what I heard you say.
Oh, no,
Because
no.
you said Africans don't
Nothing.
identify as black.
I Well, you don't. That's a reality. That's not me going hard on you. You just don't. In fact, when you think of black people globally, people think of foundational black Americans, right?
That's yeah, that's true. But like
Right.
we think about, let's say for example, we think about Bob Marley for the for blackness
Who?
in my country. We think about Bob Marley as the face of blackness, for example, and
Bob
he's
Marley.
Jamaican, and he's Jamaican. Bob Marley.
Yeah, I love Bob Marley, but yeah.
Yeah, it's just it's not because of who who represents blackness. We're all black. We all have the same skin color. We're
Right,
black in terms of we're black in terms of that, right?
right, right. But as far as identifying as black, there are a lot of people, and you can sit here and deny this all day. A lot of people from the diaspora who identify with tribes first and sometimes black when it's convenient. And they other us. They have said many, many times, I'm not black, I'm this. This is something, we're not making this up. Let me get Miss Parker in here. Miss Parker, hop in. Miss Parker, you ready? Is Miss Parker in the building? Okay, Miss Parker ain't saying nothing. I wanted to get that sister in here. All right. Okay. All right. All right. Any last words, brother Tamakshi?
Yeah, yeah, Tariq. Look, what I want to say is put respect on Africans' name and don't make up lies about us talking about we hate blackness and we hate to be black because of some trolls that you heard on Twitter Spaces. Okay.
Hey, you need to put respect on Africa and go back and stop fleeing from it. You have,
Yeah, that's how we're gonna go back eventually.
yeah, not really. You ain't going back no time. Sir.
Nah, I'm telling you, man, we're
You
gonna go back one way or the others because white people gonna send everybody back soon, anyways.
Well, no, okay, ain't sending y'all because we ain't immigrants, so we can't get sent back nowhere. This is our homeland here. So I would say go back to your homeland and do what we did. Build up a space where you're safe and you can be good and you can prosper and thrive and be great. You have to do that by standing on business. Yeah, right?
Yeah, yeah, I understand that, but like, it's just that when we see people like you putting more weight on our backs, it's just like what the we already have enough on our shit, man. Like,
All
why?
weight on your back is bushmeat, sir. I didn't put no weight on your back. Don't project that stuff onto me. I'm stating facts about what y'all say when y'all come over here. Y'all not gonna. That's not gonna be ignored. Y'all not
You
gonna.
keep saying yo, man. You keep
Oh,
saying yo. That's
oh, y'all, your brethren, your tribesmen. Y'all come over here and do stuff, and y'all think we ain't gonna say nothing about it. Y'all not. You don't get to come over here and do little shit and say, "Oh, it's not me. It's not me." It's enough of you. And y'all ain't warning us about it, and all you've done is sit here and be in denial about it. So yes, people have certain behaviors that they bring over here. They bring that same tribalism, and we call them out. And you getting mad and projecting all of this weird stuff, that's not going to change that, sir. All right, brother. Thank you so much. All right, let me get him because he's about to talk in circles. Like, why do you niggas hate us? Okay, stop it. You don't have nothing to hate on. All right, you got to have something to hate on.
From New York Times best-selling author Tariq Nasheed comes Foundational Black American Race Baiter, the groundbreaking book shaking up the conversation on race in America. As one of the most influential voices for Black Americans today, Nasheed exposes the tactics used to manipulate, subjugate, and control Black communities. In this powerful read, Tariq Nasheed equips you with the knowledge to resist injustice and reclaim your narrative. Don't miss out on the book that's redefining the game. Foundational Black American Race Baiter, available now at officialfba.com. Get your copy today.